Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here with another Master Duel video for you, and if you're seeing this screen by now, you should probably know what that means, although you can tell from the title as well, that we are doing another viewer special. That's right, we've got viewer special. Oh my goodness, I've actually lost track of which viewer special we're on. That's actually kind of cool because that means we're getting up there. 6. Okay, I thought this might have been number 7, but it looks like this is going to be number 6. So, yeah, I mean, I've said it a million times by now. I'm really excited to be able to do this as a weekly series. I'm just so glad it took off the way I wanted it to, because I wanted to give you guys, you know, your chance in the spotlight, since you guys are such a huge part of this channel in terms of contributions towards, I mean, the gameplay, the content really in general, because your guys' feedback helps improve my gameplay, which in turn helps improve the content for the channel, as well as in general, just helping, like I said, me improve as a duelist, which I'm extremely appreciative to you all for. So I figured the best way I can show my appreciation is to give you guys your due time here on the channel, and that's what these viewer specials are all about. This is where we take a look at replays submitted by you guys, and yeah, just get to see a variety of decks and games as a result. Now, if you are wondering how you could possibly submit some gameplays for one of these viewer specials, it is actually very simple. If you check out my description, you will find a link to my Twitter. If you go there, then right on my page, right at the top, there is a pinned tweet where you can reply. That is where I am curating all of the deck lists and replays that have been submitted. So, yeah, if you want to share, that is definitely the place to go. Now, if you don't have a Twitter, that is quite all right. If you feel free to share your replays in the comments as well. Just be mindful that, you know, if you can do Twitter, that is definitely the better place to do it. It's a lot more easy for me to organize. You know, responses that are all coming out on that one thread, as opposed to going across the comments of different videos to find replays. But again, if you don't have a Twitter at all, I'll still definitely make an effort to look at videos or replays submitted on YouTube as well. So rest assured, you can submit them on YouTube, and I will take a look at them there as well. So yeah, when you are submitting those replays, be sure to include the date, time, and name of your opponents. You don't have to include all three, but ideally at least the date and time of the replay, so I know specifically which game you would like me to watch. Also, please make sure to make the replays public. If they are not made public, then I am not able to view them. And if you submit a replay and I don't get to it, don't be discouraged. I have quite a few replays to go through, so ever since, I think even as recently, or not as recently, even as far back as like the second or third viewer special, I started backlogging them. So if you, for example, if you reply with a game to this video, there's a decent chance you won't see it in the next one, but then would see it in the one after that. So again, if you submit a replay and you don't see it in the next video, you know, just, you can rest assured that I will likely still get to it. And if I don't get to it, you know, you can always submit additional replays. You're not limited in the number of submissions. Now, don't spam it. If you spam the same submission over and over again, that's a pretty surefire way not to get featured. But yeah, if it's been a little while since you've seen a replay of yours featured, and or if you haven't seen one yet and you submitted a while ago, feel free to submit again. You know, you're definitely not limited to the number of times you can submit. Again, don't spam submissions, but feel free to submit multiple games, and I will take a look at each of them. Also, the other thing I wanted to make sure to make you guys aware of is to please try and leave the replays on your profile for as long as possible. Ideally, at the very least, a few days or a week, as I'm not always able to, you know, it's not like I see a new comment and then go and look at the video and then record it, right? I have to kind of like do these kind of, I have to curate them over the course of the week, and then I go through and then I do the recording once I've viewed a few of them. So so yeah, like I said, make sure to leave them up for a little while to ensure that they get featured. At the very least, ideally a week or at least a few days, is what I would suggest. Okay, so I think that about covers everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into some games here. I've actually, based on these descriptions, got a few interesting ones to take a look at here. Okay, so this replay is going to come to us from, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Leander Moores. Looks like this replay is going to be featuring going second with Sword Soul. Oops, if I can open the right tab here, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, going second with Sword Soul. Taking the Maxi challenge, playing through Imperm, Ash, and Nib. Wow, I'm definitely eager to see this. Let us go ahead and jump right on into it. Yeah, it's kind of going to be a bit of a recurring theme. There's a couple of games here where people end up playing through either Maxi or a whole bunch of stuff. I just really like watching games where people kind of play through that, taking the Maxi challenge, because it really helps me kind of open my mind in that regard, right? Because I tend not to take the Maxi challenge myself, but and obviously I don't want to fall into confirmation bias, right? Of, oh, I've watched all these games where people take the Maxi challenge and win, so now I'm going to take it every time. No, that's definitely not what I'm trying to do, but I think my ultimate end goal here is to just kind of like I said, just broaden my horizons a bit and expand kind of the number of plays that I'm willing to make, I suppose. So, okay, here's the first Imperm. Looks like they're going to Imperm our Moye here. That's definitely no good. But looks like we still have a decent amount of plays here. We've got the Long Yuan and the Blackout too. If there's the Maxi. Okay, so I guess this is where we end up taking the Maxi challenge here. The Maxi challenge. I don't know why that's always so like funny to me, but it kind of is. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say if we're gonna make a lot of plays, we're probably gonna have to use the Moye first. Okay, with the Baxia, good. Oh, because we can bring back that Taya. Yep. Then we're gonna send the Blackout. Yeah, we would have to, because otherwise we'd have to send the Long Yuan, and then we wouldn't have further plays. Oh, and we can make an extra token by banishing the Blackout. I didn't even think about that. Good call. Good call. Wow, and we're gonna play through a Nib too. I'm actually really intrigued to see that. Oh, with the Baron, we're just gonna negate the Nib. Got it. Unless we actually end up getting, I don't know. This is kind of the cool thing about watching these replays too. Is like, you know, I'm doing my own gameplay. I already know how every game goes, but when I watch your guys' games, it's like, oh my god, how is this gonna go? Like, just especially based on little descriptors you give. I'm like, I'll be watching the game like this, and I'm like, wait, that still has yet to happen, and we're still gonna. Okay, so they're gonna Ash and Nib on the same chain link. Wow. Okay. Oh, if they had actually, well, they couldn't have done that in the opposite order. Okay, cool, and then we get to concede there. So, okay, that actually is a really good illustration of something that I've always said. Now, the opponent had the Nibiru here, but I feel like it kind of illustrates my point even... Whoa. Okay. Oh no, my internet went down. Fuck. That's not good. Well, we're gonna have to wait till that comes back up. Oh wait, it's back up. There we go. Alright, well, I'm really glad that only lasted a moment. Am I gonna keep that in? I might, because I stopped mid-sentence there. Oh my god, of course now I don't even remember what I was saying. So if I cut, I can't pick back up where I left off. At least that didn't happen mid-replay. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to cut, because I just kept talking as if I weren't cutting. So, I guess, sorry your replay got... Well, it didn't really get cut short. We saw the end of it. I was just kind of talking towards the end. But, no, I remember what I was going to say now. Yeah, I was just getting at the idea that... you know, if you Maxi, you've got to have the follow-up threat. Now, again, our opponent did have the Nibiru in this case. They did have the follow-up threat. But I feel like that is still a good illustration of what can happen. Like, if your opponent takes the Maxi challenge and then you don't have a threat. Like, the opponent just conceded after their Nibiru got negated because they realized, like, oh, I can't play through this board. I may have gotten all these draws, but I still can't play through this board. So, Maxi is definitely not the game ender it is always made out to be, and that is something I could definitely bear to remember. So thank you very much for sharing that replay there, Leander Moores. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Okay, so our next game comes to us from Johnny Santiago over on Twitter, aka East. I think we've actually seen games from you before, now that I think about it. You've got a game with Adamantipator featuring DPE. Another one where we play through Maxi. That's pretty rad. Let's see, that is going to be this game right here. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Again, just looking to increase, or rather expand, my own horizons as far as what kind of a board state I'm willing to play. So actually, this time I want to see, like, let's see whether I would play through this Maxx C or not. Okay, opponent's gonna take the first turn here. Oh, it's a machine deck, Earth Machines. Or it could be pure Infinitracks, I guess. I don't know. Actually, this is looking like a pure Infinitrack deck. Cool, so we've got our own Maxx C. Oh, but they've got the Ash. What does our hand look like? Doki Doki, Gigantes, Dragite, and Supplier. That's not too shabby. I don't know what rank 5 they're gonna make. Oh. Yeah, I don't really know much about pure Infinitracks. Detach, Shaken Earth, either add it. Okay, or send it. And then we're linking it for the Goliath. I didn't even know this card existed. For another Goliath, okay. Yeah, I've never played it. Actually, that's a lie. I played against a pure Infinitrack, but that was in the normal Rare Festival, so that doesn't even really count. I never saw them do all this. I'm seeing all these cards I've never seen. I've never seen before. Okay, Ancient Gear Box I've seen. I know that one. But yeah, I don't know. This Infinitrack deck is really quite interesting. I have no idea what they're going into, like, at all. Okay, that's the third Goliath they've summoned. Double-headed Anger Knuckle? Alright. Oh, it's a train link. I didn't know trains had a link. That's cool. Wow, all that just to kind of, like... What does this do again? I don't know. I guess that's kind of cute, but okay. Okay, so yep, Doki Doki's effect, I imagine this is, yep, where they Maxx C, so... What would I do if I were in this scenario? I'd probably just summon a big level 4 monster, relatively speaking, and just stop here. You know, or maybe do, like, one synchro summon. Like, I can't lie, I wouldn't take the challenge here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have taken the challenge, I'm just kind of illustrating my point of... Like, I need to be more open-minded about taking the Maxx C challenge, because, I mean, if you won the duel, it was obviously the correct decision to make here, and it's not one that I would have made, so, again, just in the interest of expanding our own horizons. Ooh, did we whiff? I think we whiffed on that. Yeah, we did. And we're still gonna come back. Well, I guess, yeah, we have the 2 level 4s, so we can make the Granite for the Block Dragon for the searches. We're not going to get the Gigantes, obviously, but we've already got the Raptide on board. Unless we're playing a second Gigantes, which a decent amount of people do. We're going to Nightmare Phoenix the face down, or what back row are we going into? Oh, we're going to IP. Okay, that makes sense, too. And yeah, Block Dragon. Okay, the Researcher, the Analyzer, or I mean the Seeker, and then a Supplier. Okay, as the level 4. Makes sense. Yeah, because we've got the Raptide on board, so we don't, even though we don't have access to Gigantes, we don't need it. Are we going to deck them out? How many cards do they have in deck? 22. Okay, we're probably not going to deck them out, but... I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Adamantipator had the capability of decking... I feel like I've almost gotten decked out by Adamantipator when I played Maxx C before. Although I think that was back when I was still playing Desires and Trizeus, that might have contributed to that. Oh, are we going for the, oh no, Link 2. Okay, now we're going for the Hulk line. Okay, got it. Got it. I don't know, we might deck them, actually. Because that's already another, like, 4 summons, right? 5, yeah, that's another 5 cards drawn. Right, the token is... Oh my god, we might actually do this. There've been a handful of times. I've never done it, but there have been a handful of times where I find myself playing under a Maxx C, and I'm like, wait, can I just deck them? But my opponent usually ends up conceding before that. Typically because I find they're just not playing Nibiru. It's like I said in the last replay, you know, if you're not playing a threat at the end of your Maxx C, then really what good is your Maxx C? Ultimately, not that great. Let's see, 6. I mean, yeah, we've got Lethal on board right now. Oh, we only... No, not quite, because we only bounced one card. Well, we can use Baron's effect to destroy this monster. We got the Abyss Dweller, too. I kind of need to put this in my... Well, I don't know how much I'm going to be playing Adamant Spader. I mean, the Abyss Dweller is a very, very good card in the deck, though. It's too bad it's an Ultra. I think it's an Ultra. It's too bad it's an Ultra. Yeah, we get to make DPE on top of that. Like, this is actually a pretty insane board for Adamant Spaders to have here. Target, but yeah, whatever. We don't care about our opponent summoning that, right? Oh yeah, we have more than lethal at this point, because we even have the Abyss Dweller to negate the effect. Yeah, so either our opponent got really, really unlucky and Nibiru's in their last 9 cards, or they're just not playing it. But if they're just not playing it, this is another I told you so moment. Okay, looks like they are still able to summon a decent amount of defenders here. Man, we're gonna use the Baron. I was gonna say we're probably gonna use the Baron effect on that. If they were holding Nibiru up to this point, that would be a 200 IQ move on the opponent's part. I don't know about 200 IQ, maybe 150 IQ, but it doesn't look like they have it at all. And we definitely still have lethal here. I mean, yeah, that's 8,500 points of damage right there. So, you know, I mean, I've said it before. Adamancipator is definitely still at least a tier 3 deck in terms of power level. It really just needs the proper representation, like, in the format in order to, like, you know, actually see that reflected on the tier list as well. Which I guess it is reflected in that way in some tier lists, but, yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that replay. As I've been mentioning, we love to see those games where we play through Maxx. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next game. Okay, so this game comes to us from Eyes of Heaven. Looks like we are going to be looking for a game where they play Sword Soul versus at Ignister. This was your rank up game from Plat to Diamond, so that's pretty rad. Game where I thought of you because the task seemed impossible, and I thought Hexlex wouldn't like to scoop and see it through. Yeah, so yeah, definitely love to see those games where we play it out and don't scoop. I'm just trying to see, what was the date here again? I didn't write it down. Okay, it was the 3rd. Looks. Excuse me. Is this it? Yeah, it looks like this is it right here. Okay. Let's see this game that Eyes of Heaven has got. Again, yeah, they're playing Sword Soul versus at Ignister. Yeah, we definitely love to see comeback games here, so let's go ahead and take a look. Going second, although this is definitely not a bad going second hand with the C and the Ash. I was going to say, yeah, let's Ash the Picari. Try to prevent them from getting access to their field spell, but looks like they've got a called by, so much for that. So yeah, looks like they will be searching their, what is it, AI land? Oh no, they're searching, and they must already have AI land in their hand. Or no, wait, they don't necessarily have to search it here, because doesn't the Link one, the infant, doesn't that also search the field spell? So maybe it's better to Ash, I don't know actually, what the choke point is to Ash. Maybe it is Dark Infant. I've heard people say before that it's Dark Infant, and I know the Ignister AI land is a really good card in general for the deck, obviously, so... Okay, yeah, we're maxing in response here to the summon, getting the guaranteed draw. We could have maxed when they summoned the Picari, because they usually just go into the Infinite, especially once we saw they searched AI met you, but I wouldn't necessarily blame you for... I just happen to have played against Ignister quite a bit lately. I feel like even as recently as a couple of weeks or a month ago, I wouldn't have known to do that, so I don't fault people for not really knowing that either. Okay, so it looks like they're going to give us quite a few cards. Well, at Ignister is just one of those kinds of decks where when they combo off, they don't have like a shorthand combo to play under Maxx. When they combo off, they combo, you know, the hell off, so... Looks like they're going to give us quite a few draws here. Oh, the looks like we're playing the Punk Engine in this Sword Soul deck. That's interesting. I've been meaning to try the Punk Engine in more decks in general, especially since trying it during the Limit 1 Festival I think the punk engine is really neat. I think punks in general are maybe a little better than I gave them credit for. So, would be interested to try them again, for sure. Oh yeah, they added they're moving it over to a main monster zone. I was like, what effect are they activating? But that's right. And then yeah, you called Divine here so that you can get like more different attributes. Yeah, they're going for the Arrival, looks like. The Arrival Cyberset Ignister. Which makes sense if they're trying to play through Maxx to get to that, because that's one of those, like, quote-unquote Towers cards named after Apocalypse Fort Towers, right? Where, it's unaffected by other cards' effects, so there's generally not a whole lot you can do against it. Especially if they get out with 6,000 attack, which it looks like this player is going to do here. Yep, here it comes. As annoying of a card as it is, you got to admit, the Arrival Cyberset Ignister is a pretty cool card name. Oh, they got the Vanities too? Wow. And you didn't scoop? I definitely would have. Well, I don't know about definitely, but I shouldn't say that given you took, you know, I guess, inspiration, for lack of a better word, from me to keep playing it out here. But I would have been very tempted to scoop here. Props to you. Although, I guess when we have this many cards, right, like, finding the out might not be as difficult as it would be otherwise, so. Yep, using the Blackout to get rid of the Vanity's Emptiness, that's a good call here. Although I'm trying to figure out, I'm really intrigued to see how we're going to get around this Arrival Cyberset. Although, I will say, this is still susceptible, I believe, to continuous effects, right? Because it's only, yeah, unaffected by other, no, it's only affected by other cards' effects. I thought it was only activated effects, but. I guess we're just going to have to get a monster with more than 6,000 attack. I don't know how we're going to do that, but. Yeah, I'm actually really intrigued to see how this game ends up playing out here. Very much so, actually. Okay, so they're gonna blow up their own vanities. See, that's the other thing too, right? It's not always about, like... I mean, not that blowing up their own vanities is necessarily a misplay here, but, you know, oftentimes, it's not even as much about what we draw to out the situation, but what our opponent does to let us get an out for the situation, because... You know, it's just human nature. People, when they're in players, when they're in a winning position, will tend to be a little bit more likely to make mistakes, either due to overconfidence because they're already ahead, or just not thinking about a scenario where they could fall back behind because they're already ahead. And getting a second Maxx off definitely doesn't hurt either. Although we're at 37, are we really gonna live? Oh, we have Nibiru. Oh, and it gets tributed. That's how we're going to get over the Arrival Cybers. Because that should work, right? If we tribute it. I'm pretty sure that should work. I guess we'll see. I didn't even think about that. But again, this is why I love watching replays like this. Because you guys are thinking of these plays that I'm not thinking of. Oh, it actually doesn't affect the Arrival Cybers. Okay. Oh, but is our token going to be... Or no, their token, I guess. Yeah, duh, we don't get a token. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. I do want to specify that's a Venture Bros reference, not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference. I'm actually really not that big of a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I don't know. It was really funny when I was 13. I don't know if it's really... Or not 13. More like 16. It was really funny when I was 16, but I just don't really find it as funny anymore. Not that it's whatever, you know, humor changes, but tastes change, all that fun stuff. So, but let's see. Okay, Ecclesia for the Moye. Actually, if they've got a 0 defense token, do we have something that pierces? Oh, you're playing a really interesting variant where you play the virtual. Oh, okay, yeah, you're playing like the virtual world stuff too. With VFD. I've actually been meaning to look into this variant, and actually, I think one of the replays we're going to watch here coming up is going to be Virtual World VFD. Obviously, having recently built Virtual World myself, or not Virtual World VFD, Virtual World Sword Soul. Obviously, having built Virtual World myself, and already having Sword Soul, now I'm naturally kind of intrigued about Sword Soul plus Virtual World. I've heard people say it's a really fun variant, so I would be very interested to try it, but I would like to learn a little bit more first, which ideally this video will help us do. Well, not this duel, but I said this video. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, unfortunately, no, that bounce didn't work on the Arrival Cybers. I'm still very, very curious how exactly we're going to get over this Arrival Cybers. Are we just going to banish that many cards for Cheng? And now that would be a lot of cards to banish. Ooh, you have a Royal Protoss. Wow, my thoughts are like bouncing all over the place here. Your Royal Protoss is very pretty, though. I guess we could, well, I guess, no, our deck would be a lot thinner. Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, well, we could deck him out. Well, no, we resolved 2 big Maxx, so no, we probably can't do that. I'm still just, how are we going to do this? This is like a thriller, like a movie or something. I'm just like at the edge of my seat. Just wondering, like, oh, we're going to burn them to death. Ha ha ha, I get it now. That's actually really rad. Are we really gonna burn them with Chi Shaos? Oh my god, we are. We're totally doing that, aren't we? Is this a once per turn? Okay. Is the burn once per turn? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, next turn we're gonna win. Oh my god, that's so dirty. That's so dirty. I love it. Yeah, definitely thank you for sharing this, because, like, I think maybe you might have mentioned this in a comment. Why do I feel like recently somebody told me about a time where they played through a towers by just burning with, not Chi Shao, with Long Yuan. I don't know why I said Chi Shao earlier, but it might have been you that left a comment about that. But either way, yeah, I mean, total props to you for taking the advice which I myself don't always follow, which is, you should never concede. You should always just be thinking about what the best play in the current scenario is. I mean, obviously, sometimes there are games and scenarios where you just cannot do anything. But, as we can see here, this was not one of those cases, as we were able to burn our opponent out for lethal. So, I think you've taught a lot to not only myself, but quite a few Sword Soul players who might be watching. So thank you very much, Eyes of Heaven, for your contribution to the video. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so this video, this replay rather, which I do think is going to end up being the last one of the video, on the interest of not making this too long, is going to come to us from IQ, who I mentioned actually towards the end of the last replay. This is going to be that virtual world Sword Soul gameplay that we were going to look at here. So let's see, that would be, I believe, this one right here. Should be. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, Virtual World Sword Soul is definitely a deck that I'm just, obviously having both decks, and I enjoy playing each quite a bit. It's definitely a deck I'm fairly interested in, so I would be quite interested to see what the plays of the deck look like. It looks like we're going second here. I'm actually curious, what does your extra deck look like? I wonder if it looks like that last person's. Kind of does. Oh yeah, we can make much better use of Zoltan. There's Ultimate Zolkin. I didn't even think about that. Playing all these synchro monsters here. Whoa, excuse me. Okay, looks like we have the Ash for the Hulk. That's definitely good. The Fusion Destiny is like, I mean, whatever they were planning. Looks like it's some kind of Synchron? I can't even tell, actually, if it was a Synchron deck or not. Looks like it might have been. But, definitely preferable that they only end on DPE rather than whatever they were going for. Okay, so we're Sword Soul Emergence for Taya. Long Yuan. Okay, we're going to lead with the Baron to have the negate up for the face down and card in hand, and also potentially the DP. Or no, we're going for a Cheng Ying. Oh, that actually, you know what, that would be better against DPE, wouldn't it? Probably, anyway. I have to imagine it would be. Ooh, they have the Imperm as well, though. Well, that's fine. We forced their DPE and the back row, so that's actually pretty good that we managed to do that off of our first summon there, so... We can still normal the Taya... And then, or we could, no, I was gonna say, yeah, we'll normal the Nyan Nyan and then special the Lao Lao. Okay. Because we can probably end up specialing this Taya somehow. Oh, and then, yeah, that lets us send the King Long, too. And then okay, so we're going to discard the Taya, and we're just going to go pure. I actually like this. I really like being able to flip-flop between Sword Soul mode and Virtual mode. I kind of thought that, and I imagine there are plays where you kind of integrate the two, but now that I'm looking at it this way, it does kind of seem like it's more you go for one line or the other, but they still kind of, like, do meld. That's interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, store discharge, draw a card. Oh my god, and we ripped a Lily. Oh my god, that's so good. That's disgusting, honestly. Vermilion Dragon. Oh my god, that's lethal with the burn, isn't it? Once we pop this? Yeah, they conceded, so yeah, that's gonna be lethal. Okay, so that's an interesting little insight, little sneak peek into how maybe Virtual World Sword Soul looks. So it looks like... Just trying to think. Yeah, so it kind of looks like, you know, we were able to start with the Baron line, or I guess a level 10 Synchro line in general to kind of force out their responses or draw them out, and then we went into Virtual. I can also see a world... Well, the other thing, too, is, like, they're both really extensive 2-card combos, so it wouldn't be that hard to open a line where you could do either or. And they do kind of blend together in that, you know, some of the Virtual Worlds are worms, so... Okay, yeah, that's definitely piqued my interest a little bit more in this deck, and I'll definitely be doing some more research on it. I'd like to feature it on the channel. Ooh, I don't know if that'll happen by the end of this season, or before the beginning. So it'll probably happen sometime Season 7. We'll maybe dabble into Virtual World Sword Soul a bit. But thank you very much for the introduction to that archetype there, IQ. I greatly appreciate it. So, yeah, like I said, I think that's about all the time we've got for replays for today's video. So let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Okay, everyone, as always, just want to give you a genuine thank you for not only watching to the end of the video, because I always say that. It is actually one of the best ways to support the channel is watching all the way to the end, so very, very much thank you for doing that. But this being a viewer special, also got to give extra special thanks to everyone who submitted gameplay and replays. Well, I guess they're the same thing. Just anyone who submitted, even if you didn't get featured, I just really appreciate you submitting. And if you didn't get featured, again, just know that, one, there's a decent chance you're on the backlog list, as I do backlog these in order to keep up with all these submissions and try to give as many people a fair shot of getting featured as possible. And two, even if it's been a little while and you haven't been featured, like I said, you can just submit more replays, and that'll give you more opportunities to view them. So definitely don't be shy about that. Once again, don't spam, but definitely don't feel like oh, I submitted my one replay and now I'll never get featured. No, definitely just keep sending them in. And I don't know, there's a part of me that almost wants to do like 2 of these a week, just because I get enough replays to be able to do that. And I feel a little bad not being able to feature everybody who submits. But I mean, that's always just going to be the nature of the series, right? But I don't know, at the same time, it's like that 2 a week might be a bit much. Especially, well, I don't know, I don't want to say it that way. I was going to say, given that, you know, the viewer specials do tend to be, over the course of a week, the least viewed video. But I don't really, that's not a concern of mine, honestly. It's not going to stop me from putting out the viewer specials every week. As long as you guys are sending the games in, I will definitely keep featuring you, because I've said it once, I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. I would not be where I am without you guys, not only because of your viewership, but because of the support and advice you offer in the comments. And I feel that this series is quite literally the least I can do to show you my appreciation, and to just get you guys who are, you know, just as much a part of the content here as I am in that regard, get you guys some fair screen time as well. So, yep, that's about all I've got to say at this point. Without further ado, this is XLEX, signing out. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.